another edition of the Verde Valley Experience, but not just any edition of the Verde Valley Experience. This is our 1-year anniversary of being on the air with the Verde Valley Experience. That's so cool. I'm so excited. That's so great. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch the Verde Valley Experience. Really, really appreciate that. I want to say thank you to Ryan, our producer, and Abby, our camera woman, and Jeff from the sales department. Thank you guys so much. We've got such a great team here. I am so fortunate, and it's been a whole year, and it has flown, I have to tell you. Well, we have, of course, another good show for you today. President of the Arizona Flywheelers Association, Jim Mager, is here along with Vice President Gary Covert, and they're going to tell us all about the Arizona Flywheelers Annual Engine and Tractor Show. That's coming up soon, March 20th and 21st at the Verde Valley Fairgrounds here in Cottonwood. Their club's purpose is to educate you about, promote, and preserve antique engines and related farm equipment. Really cool stuff if you're like me and you love the smell of gas and oil and all kinds of cool mechanical parts. And you got to go to this. It's really cool. Fun for all ages. You're really going to love that one. Barbie Bridge from the town of Camp Verde, she's the administrative assistant. And Nikki Miller, who is the president of Camp Verde Promotions, will grace us with their presence in the studio today and give us all the details on the upcoming Spring Heritage Pecan and Wine Festival. That is the annual celebration of Camp Verde's rich tradition as the agricultural hub of central Arizona and the river that, of course, has defined its past and its future. So that's happening on March 28th and 29th. Now, have you ever wanted to enter a photo contest? Well, budding photographers, get ready because now is your chance. Kathy Hellman, the library director for Camp Verde Community Library, will be here to discuss my Camp Verde photo contest. It's going to be so cool. And of course, how can you not take an absolutely stunning picture around here? It's coming into spring. We just had that wonderful storm event. Everything's so bright and clean. Now is the time. Polish up your lenses and get out. Kathy will also fill us in on all the exciting things that are going on over there at the Camp Verde Community Library. So good stuff. Then we'll go on location and talk to George Christensen, the manager of the Dead Horse Ranch State Park. George met with us to discuss all the fishing opportunities at the park, and he even shared some tips on how to catch the big one. Got me very excited to go fishing, and I know it'll do the same for you. And we'll conclude our 1-year anniversary show with the return of musician Bill Bassett. Bill was our very first musician here on the Verde Valley Experience, and we are so pleased to have him back to celebrate our anniversary with us. It's just so great. So stick around. Lots of good stuff coming. Pen and paper as always, because we got websites and phone numbers and good things that you're probably going to write down, you know, in case you miss it. You can always check us out on the website, verdevalleytv.com. Of course, we're also on YouTube. We're also on your TV, so you can't miss us now. We're going to go ahead and get started. We have the president of the Arizona Flywheelers, Jim Mager, who is here. Thank you so much for being here. Gary Covert, the vice president, thank you so much. This is an amazing event that you guys put on every year. How many years in a row is this now?
This is our 32nd one, annual.
32nd annual. Wow, that's a lot of steel being hauled back and forth.
Yeah.
You guys totally take over the fairgrounds there.
Correct.
That's really great.
Yeah, we have a lot of activities going on. We have a lot of flywheel engines of different sorts, and then we have a tractor pull. We have a tractor pull both for big tractors and for garden tractors. And then we have, in the commercial building, we have all kind of displays in there of different things. A model railroad some, and small engines and stuff like that.
Model engines.
And then Gary could tell you all about the flywheel engines, what we got. He's kind of in charge of that, or he is in charge of it.
Right, because you're the tractor guy.
Yeah, I'm more of a tractor guy.
Yes, we see you in the Christmas parade every year.
That's correct.
Which is really nice. And you ride the green John Deere, is that correct? Beautiful. See, if you don't think that tractors and engines can be beautiful, you're missing out. You just don't know. You've got to go to this event because they're gorgeous. They are so shiny. They're beautiful. You guys put so much effort into preserving and maintaining these. And they're just so interesting because they're completely different technology than we're used to now. I mean, as far as the flywheel engines go, most people are amazed when they hear how those function.
Yes, and then especially the hit and miss ones, they just, when they slow down, they just pop once. And we're going to have, this year we'll have, I'm pretty sure, 3 big engines mounted on trailers. And they're really neat to watch because they just sit there and roll around, and all of a sudden they puff out all the smoke and they fire again.
Right,
and then
we'll also
we'll have some antique cars. There'll be some people coming from the car club, and we got some antique trucks coming. So
well, very good.
we try to have a little variety there for everybody.
Yeah, it sounds like you got it covered, and not just the big engines, but as you said, the little engines, the toy engines, the child-size engines, which are
Yes.
so adorable.
In the exhibition building, there'll be the small model engines, and there's some engines that are models of bigger engines that are very precise, very detailed.
Right.
And it's amazing to me how anybody would have the patience and the know-how to do it, but they do.
Right, to make one of those miniature engines.
And we've got several guys in our club that do that.
Wow, that's great. And how long has your club been around? Has your club been around for 30 some odd years too?
No, I don't think quite that. I think incorporated in '92 or something.
All
I
right.
don't know. But,
Well, that's good.
They did start at a private home here in Cottonwood. And
Right.
Then they moved it. After it got too big, then they moved
Of course.
to the fairgrounds.
Yeah, it became too popular just to have it at Graydon's house, so you had to go ahead and move it to the Verde Valley Fairgrounds, and it just takes over. But I mean, how many tractors can you put in your front yard at one time?
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the problems when it was at Graydon's, because originally it started out with just engines, you know. And then as tractors started showing up, well, there was people who lived all around there, and after a while, you know, it got to be a little bit much, and it did grow. And they went to the fairgrounds where it was a good place for it to go.
That's a wonderful
And it's
place.
they've been very gracious to us in all these years of letting us have the show there, and it's an ideal place.
Yep.
Truly.
Because they got the building where they can have vendors in the inside, antiques, and people
Right.
selling jewelry and so forth. And then there's lots of room outside and lots of parking. And no
Right.
parking problem. And,
Sure. Are there beauty contests?
No.
No? No beauty
well,
contests?
engines and tractors.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. What do you think I was talking about? Definitely the most beautiful tractor, the loveliest engine, you know, Miss Congeniality of hit and miss. What are you going to do?
Well, there's some of these big engines that are the beauty contest winners.
They are.
People that bring those big, they really are beautiful engines. So.
Yeah.
And then we have a raffle too. We have
right.
a model of engines that we're raffling.
Really?
Yeah.
Two of them.
Two of them.
Wow.
Really nice models. We usually have a bigger engine, but we tried to go with models this year because anybody can take a model, you know.
Truly, it would be a little challenging to take home an 800-pound engine. Look what I won, Mom.
So they can buy tickets there, and it's $1 a piece, 6 for 5, and 12 for 10.
That's wonderful. That's great. And 2 chances to win.
Yes,
there's
well,
two of
there's
those engines.
yes, there'll be
Wow.
Yeah.
2 chances.
Well, that's awesome. Now, when you guys started this club, this organization, you saw a need to preserve this dying technology, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys have kept this going. I mean, what got you interested in it, Gary?
Well, a friend of mine, he gave me an engine and a grinder.
Really?
And that got me into it. And,
Wow.
and then I bought some other stuff.
Huh, how about that?
And just-
Jim, what got you started?
Well, I moved here. I've been here 26 years, and I knew since I spent a lot of time on farms and stuff, I wasn't getting it. I knew about the flywheelers, and somebody tipped me off about the flywheelers. So first when I came over was at Graydon's, and it was really nice. I was pretty impressed with it over there, and that's how I got involved. And then of course, finally it graduated to the fairgrounds, and I've really enjoyed it. I've been president, I think
a
about
very long time.
15 years maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. So.
It's a very long time, I noticed.
And I was born and raised on a farm, had a farm in Michigan, and used some of this old equipment.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the best. I really find that they made it right back then. You can still use it, so it's very important to preserve it. And the Arizona Flywheelers definitely doing that. So get yourself down to the Arizona Flywheelers Annual Engine and Tractor Show. Okay, that's happening March 20th and 21st, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Verde Valley Fairgrounds in Cottonwood. You can check out their website, really nice website, lots of good stuff on it, ArizonaFlywheelers.com. That's going to get you there, ArizonaFlywheelers.com. And I will see you March 20th and 21st at the Arizona Flywheelers Annual Engine and Tractor Show. Fellas, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you
We
for
really
having us.
appreciate you coming and
And it
chatting.
was our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. Hey, I love engines. I think that's really awesome, and I've gotten my daughter involved in it, and I think it's very important to keep the history of farming alive in that way.
Right. That's the purpose of this, to keep people aware of what it took to get where we're at.
Right.
Farming and so forth.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
And it's
Thank
still,
you.
there's old equipment out there still to restore and
Yeah,
discover.
definitely. Get more people into it, for sure. Awesome. Well, we have Jim Mager, the president of the Arizona Flywheelers, and Gary Covert, who is vice president. Thank you, gentlemen. And we'll
Thank
be
you.
right back, so don't go away.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Get your ass out. You're not sitting here. Yes, I am. Move. Give it to him hard. No. Ow.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are here now with Barbie Bridge, who is from the town of Camp Verde and is the administrative assistant there, and Nikki Miller, the president of Camp Verde Promotions. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Awesome. And you are here to discuss the Spring Heritage Pecan and Wine Festival, which is huge.
Getting to be bigger.
I know. So this is your second annual for doing it your way, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right. It's wonderful when you can do that. I love doing things my way. Just ask my husband. It's my favorite way to do things. My opinion, it's the only way to do things, really. I mean, come on. So
with you.
Yeah, see? I knew I was in the right crowd at this moment. I could say that. So Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th. That's when this is all happening, and it's a lot. So where should we start? There is so much going on at the Spring Heritage Pecan and Wine Festival. It's not just about pecans. It's not just about wine. Well, first of all, pecan or pecan?
Well, I say it pecan, but that doesn't mean that's right.
Pecan. Pecan. Okay, what do I say? Am I saying pecan?
Pecan? Are you from the South?
Actually, yeah. I did a little stint in Georgia, and I think they say pecans in Georgia.
Pecans,
So
yes.
that's probably it. So, but the pecan festival. Let's talk
There you
about
go.
that. So.
Well, one thing we want to point out too is that it's our sesquicentennial, which is our
Yes.
150th birthday. So everything's going to be a little bit more special this year.
Nice.
Hopefully, we're going to step it up a little.
Nice. That's wonderful. Sesquicentennial.
Good job.
See, I practiced. I wrote it down and I practiced. And you have a T-shirt.
I
that is
do.
Fantastic.
Do you wanna see my
regarding
T-shirt?
the sesquicentennial of Camp Verde. It says, "Happy birthday, Camp Verde." And the poor little fella standing on the chair has written sesquicentennial out into syllables. And he says, "Okay, but what the heck is it?" That's
Nikki
wonderful.
made that for me.
You
so,
did?
yeah.
That's great, Nikki. That's
you.
great. That's a very good job. Okay, so what's going to be happening first? What kicks off on Saturday?
Well, the archaeological fair starts at 10, and so does the Verde runoff. So they both start at 10. The Verde River runoff starts at 10 at the White Bridge in Camp Verde, and it will last however long it takes the people to get down the river.
Very good.
And then the archaeological fair will open at 10, and well, all of it opens at 10 basically.
Sure. Now let's talk about the Verde River runoff. It's a very cute name for a boat race. I mean, it is a boat race. It's down the Verde River, and it's a kayak race. Is that correct?
Kayak, canoe, fun race. It's I mean, I think that there was a fun aspect of it. So I think if somebody wanted to go down an inner tube, they probably go down
I
an
was going to say
inner
a homemade
tube.
boat of some sort. That would be okay, but no motors.
No,
obviously.
I don't think so.
No motors. Very cool.
No, and I think that it's going to. The river's high right now, which is going to be a good thing for. By the time it's the end of March, it should be just right, just
Should be
perfect for it.
Absolutely. And how much fun is that to get your family together and go and watch that? And you watch from the bridge, is that correct?
You can see them launch from the bridge, yes. And then they go all the way to Beasley Flats. That's about a 10-mile run. And so you've got your serious people that are actually out there racing, and then the people that are going to go down and just for fun.
Right, 10 miles. That's a nice long river run. That's very cool. It's not nothing short. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back to the soccer field in the afternoon and give away their awards.
Oh,
will be presented there.
That's wonderful. Now, if someone was interested in joining the race, what do they need to do?
Well, they've got a website there that they can go to, and that is their Vervno, vrvno.org, and then it's /events/registration, and they can get their information from there to register, or they can register at the event itself on Saturday morning. And there's a $50 fee to run the race.
Very good.
And that money will help the Verde River.
Excellent. What time do the boaters have to arrive?
I'm not sure. I think they'll probably try to get you there probably by 9 or so.
Sure.
And there is a parking issue that the Forest Service and everybody has worked with, so that they've gotten that a lot better, so that it's easier for people to get in and out.
Excellent.
And then there's a shuttle. They take the people down to get their cars down there so that they have a way to get home and back and forth. So there's that kind of stuff going on.
Very cool, very cool. And if you're not into boat racing, the archaeological fair starts at that point.
Yes.
And that's being held where?
That is at the soccer field in Camp Verde and in the gym, the old gym on town property. And that is going to be a big one. It's internationally renowned this year, isn't it, Barb?
Wow,
It's gotten some real neat recognition, and also the meteorite's going to be back.
The Camp Verde meteorite and the Cottonwood meteorite is making it too.
Oh,
That's come into
wow.
play in just the last couple of weeks.
Huh.
So I never knew there was a Cottonwood meteorite.
didn't
Now
either.
there is. So.
Really?
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting that that's coming back and coming home, and
Nice.
it's going to be on display for everyone to see.
Really? Well, I've got to see that.
Yeah, it's evidently been at ASU for a long time, and they're lending it to us for 6 months or so.
How nice.
So it'll be fun to see that. And I didn't even know there was a meteorite here either, so it was like, okay.
Wow. See what you learn when you go on the Verde Valley
Really?
Experience?
And then they're going to have the Invitational American Art Show, which that will be good. So you've got some really nice crafters that are coming in for that. So they'll be there. Plus all the things that they're going to do for they'll have your matatis out there, and they'll have, they'll have various things for people to do.
Right, live demonstrations
Yes,
of how it was once done. Yeah.
And then they're having their International Archaeological Film Festival Friday night at 7 and Saturday night at 7. So that'll be kind of a neat thing too.
Yeah. Wow. That's a whole lot going. We're not, and wait, there's more.
That's just barely the
That
tip.
is. So tell us, if you would, Barbie, about the Pecan and Wine Fest itself, about that portion, the wine and the pecan part.
So we're going to have tents set up, and there is a fee to get into the wine tent, but you get a glass that you get to keep, and you get to sample 6, I believe it is.
Oh,
You'll
whew.
get 6 tickets to
Wow.
sample 6 different wines, and there's going to be 13 different wine vendors there, for all local, so that's a nice mix. And that's the only thing that's going to have a fee, and then the rest of it, there's going to be vendors, there's going to be music, there's going to be kids games, the pecan or pecan catapult, however you want to say that. And it's just a fun time. They're going to fly kites, the kids will have plenty to do, the adults will have plenty to do. So it's going to be a nice, well-rounded event.
Yeah, absolutely. And admission is free, with the exception of, if you want to taste the wine, there's a little fee for that. And then there's a boat entry fee if you want to join the boat race. But otherwise, all these events are free admission.
And it's free to go to the fort that
Fort
day
Verde
also.
State.
Fort Verde State Historical Park was
Free
free to
Fort
the
Day.
public, yes. And they're going to be having, they're going to be judging a pecan pie baking contest. So if anybody out there wants to bake a pecan pie, she needs to call Sheila at the fort and get the
Yes.
information there. And then they're also going to put on an Adobe brick making workshop that day.
Right.
So that'll be kind of a neat thing. So they're going to do that they're going to do one at 10 and 2, which will be interesting for the history, and that ties into our 150th celebration. I'm not even going to try to say that.
No problem.
Takes a lot of practice.
We well covered it in the beginning there. We're covered now.
And then they're going to have a small Victorian tea at the fort too, so that'll be really
fun.
neat. So,
That's
and then the
really great.
Questers, who are a nonprofit group that help the Hans House, there are going to be set up in our new cook shack, which is new. It was built for last year's Fort Verde Days, and they are going to be selling pecan cookies of all different types. And the money that they raise there will go to help. They're trying to put a new floor in the Hans House, so that'll be a really neat thing to do.
And the Hans House will be open free of charge, and the jail will be open free of charge.
Wow.
I
And the
believe
historic-
it's
yeah, and the-
1936
yeah.
jail, and
The Historical Museum will be open.
Wow.
And, so there are a lot of things to see.
Absolutely. Good thing it's a 2-day event.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't be able to do it in just one.
that's right.
That is amazing. And so on Saturday it starts at 10. And then how about Sunday?
It starts at 10 both days.
Oh, right.
And it goes from 10 to 6 on Saturday and 10 to 5 on Sunday.
Oh, very, very good. Again, it's March 28th and 29th. So mark your calendar. That's great. And the website that you guys want to use, there's 2 of them. It's really, really simple. Visit campverde.com. That's a really easy one. And campverdepromotions.org. Lots of good information for you there, as far as where to go and where to park and all that good stuff, and what's
Right.
going on and schedule of events and things like that. But so much going on.
I
It's
know, there is.
amazing. Next year it's going to have to be 3 days.
No.
We're also having an Arbor Day. So on Sunday, there's going to be a tree planting ceremony.
Oh.
So
That's really super.
there's all kinds of things going on.
Gosh.
Then they're going to be talking about trees and stuff after they plant the trees. They're going to have a presentation up in the Ramada and give some history about the trees and stuff. And Verde River Growers is going to come, maybe bring us some pecan trees that might be sold there at the event too. So
nice.
pecan and grapevines, pecan trees and grapevines.
Right, two things that grow really well around here.
Yes, and so they're coming to be a vendor at the event too. So they might be able to impart some more knowledge about the trees and stuff. So that would be good. And you talked about parking. One of the things that we did last year for the first time is we had a shuttle, and we are going to continue to have that shuttle. It's going to be out of the Bashas parking lot by the Alco, so people can park in the Alco parking lot and then grab the shuttle and go uptown. And so that helps the congestion of traffic.
Absolutely, because it's the cutest little historical town, and you come in with all your SUVs, there's no place to park. So the shuttle there at Bashas, that's great, and it's free. There you go.
It's free.
That's amazing, and that'll run from 10 to 6. That's wonderful.
Actually, it'll probably run a little longer than 6, trying to get people
make
back
sure
and forth.
everybody's
But
home.
they said it took about a 15-minute loop last time, so they can go and get back, and they just kept driving in circles. I was glad I'm not the bus driver.
Nice. You've got this all really thought out. This is great.
She does.
We try.
Oh, that's amazing. Very, very cool. And how many wineries did you say, Barbie, you thought there'd be?
13. We're going to have 13 this year.
Wow.
And we had 14. One dropped out at the last minute. And last year, I believe we only had 12. So
All right.
we're looking to build, but we're getting new wineries in all the time. So, it could be 25 next year, I hope. Who knows?
Oh, that's wonderful. You get to come and find your favorite wine, which is always fun. I'm a wine fan. I'm a wino, I got to say
I have
it.
my favorite.
I do love wine. My daughter goes, oh, yuck, why do you drink that stuff? Acquired taste, honey, and a good thing it'll take you 40 years to get to.
That's right. That's right.
And the pecan pie. Who doesn't love pecan pie? Sheila, poor Sheila, has to judge the pecan pie.
Well, she's not judging. She's going to get judges, but but she's organizing it, so she's going to have it at the park. That's going to be at the fort, and then there'll be spectators, of course, watching that. Sheila said last year that somebody didn't like the way she was cutting the pie, so she said she's going to have to find somebody that's more.
Oh my gosh, a non-bipartisan party. Oh gosh. Barbie Bridge, the administration assistant of the town of Camp Verde, and Nikki Miller, the president of Camp Verde Promotions. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will see you at the Spring Heritage Pecan and Wine Festival. That is Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th. So we're going to see you there. Now don't go away, because we'll be right back with more Verde Valley Experience for you.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind Your Meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Hello and welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We're here now with Kathy D. Hillman, who is the Library Director for the Camp Verde Community Library. And we're going to talk about the My Camp Verde Photo Contest. Very, very cool. Thank you so much for being here, Kathy.
Thank you for having me, Jennifer. I really appreciate it. The My Camp Verde Photo Contest is actually the brain project of Bill Helm. He's the editor for the Camp Verde Bugle, and he just had this idea of doing a My Camp Verde photo contest, and we were trying to figure out how we could work it out and make it work with the library. He especially wanted us to display the new photos in the library when we open. But the opening of the new library and this project, the timing isn't exactly right. But some other things have worked out really well. But let me explain a little bit what I mean by My Camp Verde photo contest. Probably our viewers are familiar with A Day in the Life of America or A Day in the Life of Hollywood. This is sort of based on that, a day in the life. It's not a day in the life of Camp Verde, but we're looking for stunning pictures, just images that represent Camp Verde well. So people who live in Camp Verde, people who love to visit Camp Verde, people who work in Camp Verde. You don't have to be a resident of Camp Verde, but you do have to take a picture in Camp Verde.
Sure.
So we're just looking for exceptional photos that will represent Camp Verde and show what's so special about it. Right. Every community has a really unique flavor, and so we tried to give enough time for people to attend different, like the Corn Fest in the summer, and the Spring Heritage Fest coming up, so that they can maybe take some pictures that represent to them what is special about Camp Verde. So it could be something public, it could be a private dinner you have with your family, it could be your time in church on Sunday, your time maybe even at the library, possibly. So yeah, we're just looking for photos from anybody, any age. It just needs to be an original photo, of course.
Certainly. Yes. Now there's a limit of one entry for individuals, so you're really going to have to scour through and pick what you think is the best. And there's amazing categories, which is really, really cool. They must fall into one of these categories. You have landscape, nature, people, portrait, still life, abstract, action, movement, architecture, machinery, digital manipulation. Now there's more than enough there. If you can't find something in that.
And we're going to feature the photos on our new website. We're currently having a new website designed, and we're going to feature the photos on that. And then they will also be displayed at the Fort Verde Days sesquicentennial art show.
Sure.
So people will be able to come and see. We wanted to display them at the library, and eventually I hope we can, but this year it's going to be at the art show at the Fort Verde Days event. So people will be able to come and see the photos that people have. We're also going to make a calendar out of it, 2016 calendar, and a book, a picture book that people will be able to order on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
So
Celebrating Camp Verde.
Yeah, we are.
Very
yes,
wonderful.
absolutely. it's something worth celebrating.
Definitely, definitely.
yeah.
It's a lovely, lovely place. And submissions start Monday, June 1st. So you have plenty of time to get out there and shoot endless digital photos or rolls, or use your cereal box or whatever sort of camera you choose.
I would say that if there's any teachers who are listening who have classes that they would like to participate in this, we could make special concessions to accept their classes assignments ahead of time, because I know June school's out.
School's out.
So if anybody wants to contact me about making a special assignment for their art students or their photography students, I'd love to work with them on that.
That's very nice of you. And how should they contact you?
Probably just call the library. It's 928-554-8381 and ask for Kathy.
Oh, very, very good. That's great. I hadn't thought about that, having the kids do something like that and then submitting that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really great. Is this the first time you've done this?
It is. It's the first time, yeah. And the website project is a grant-funded project from the Arizona State Library. So adding the photos and all that is part of our grant. So yeah, it was, like I said, Bill's idea. He's very passionate about photography, Bill Helm. He teaches photography classes at our library, Camp Verde Library, and also Beaver Creek Library. It's called ABCs of Taking Better Photos. So he, this feeds right into the photo contest.
Yeah.
People learning how to frame a photo, how to decide on what part to maybe crop, what part to keep, what makes a good photo.
Right.
So.
Because you can take any old photo and turn it into a wow photo
you can, if
with
you
a
know
little
what
effort.
You're doing. Yeah, you can. So.
Wow, that's so great that Bill is sharing his passion in that way and then creating this event to help fuel that passion in other people.
Yeah. So, and we're very excited to get entries from anybody, everybody. You don't have to be a professional, but you can be if you just have a passion for a subject or photography. We'd love to see the entries.
Yes, and the subject is Camp Verde.
Yes.
Your Camp Verde, my Camp Verde.
Yeah.
That's really neat. That I can't wait to see those photos, I bet, because there are some beautiful, just on the Camp Verde website alone, there's some beautiful pictures.
Very true.
That is really nice. Yes. And speaking of beautiful, your library is so lovely. The wonderful Camp Verde Library is just so great, and you guys have broken ground on a new building.
We have. We just started this week. The actual work on the site is starting. We've broken ground, officially with a ceremony, but now they're actually out there. The area is fenced off, and the construction trailer is on site, and the backhoe, I don't know what it's called for sure, the one with the shovel.
Sure, yeah.
Is out there digging up the old cement and the asphalt that needs to be removed. So yeah, they're starting site work now.
Awesome. Now is this going to be a whole new library? Is this an addition?
It's a brand new library. Wow. We're going from 4,500 square feet to 17,000.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be an amazing change for us.
Sure
and
is.
We'll be able to offer so many more amenities and services to our community. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to it.
But your amenities and services right now are nothing to sneeze about.
No,
I mean, in your little library itself,
True.
You have so much going on just on a weekly basis if you look at your calendar.
Yeah, we have STEAM time on Fridays for the kids. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Ooh.
We focus on a different one each time we have STEAM time. Those are the first and third Fridays of the month. We're participating in the SciTech Festival too.
Ooh.
We're going to be at the Camp Verde High School for that, bringing up a 3D printer. And we have these robot balls called Sphero. So we're going to bring those and do Sphero races.
Wow.
And we have an artist who does 3D painting. She's going to show how to do that. Her name's Stephanie Peters. So it's not 3D physically, but when you put on the 3D glasses, the images pop out at you.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really interesting and
really
cool.
neat.
So yeah, and one of our the people on our project, Linda Harkness from McDonald Brothers, is going to demonstrate how the site needs to be prepared for the new library, because we're in a flood zone, and we need to build up the pad 3 feet before the library is put on it.
Sure.
So she's going to demonstrate how I don't know, it's not my expertise, but she knows how to pack the soil, what kind of soil is going to stay in place. So she'll do a demonstration of that.
Neat.
So yeah, we've got a lot of fun things. That's just this month.
Right.
So
yeah, definitely.
So.
And you've got, I was looking at your list on the website. If you go to campverde.az.gov/government/library, you'll get right to the library page. And if you look on the schedule, what is, at Saturday at 5:30, you have Teens Live. What is that?
Teens Live is because our library is so small and we had no place for teens, we couldn't expand the area for them. We decided to give them time. So we opened the library from 5:30 to 10, 5:30 to 10 for teens only.
Wow,
and
teens only?
Yep.
How about that?
Yeah, so we've been getting between 12 and 18 teens, and we're doing programming specifically for teens. Yavapai College presented last week how to register for college, how to fill out a form to get financial aid. So, and we've had marshals officers also come and talk about cyberbullying and other types of bullying and how to be safe on the internet. So, you know, geared specifically to kids, and games for them, lots of activities and fun. Well, actually last week they went down to ASU to the Night of the Open Door and toured ASU campus. So we take them on field trips. We've taken them to Yavapai College and to NAU. So, you know, just trying to really reach teens in Camp Verde with something different.
That's awesome. And that is every Saturday?
Every Saturday.
At 5:30 at the library. That is really great. And you also have game night as well on Thursdays at 4.
We do. We have game night. That's open to kids of all ages. We have the kids play with a Wii. We have a Wii and an Xbox, but we also have board games. I think a lot of times people don't realize that kids want that interaction with other people. They don't always just want to be stuck, you know, with their devices. And so we give also opportunity to sit down and play games with them and interact, you know, and just get to know them. And I can't say I do it personally, but our youth services librarian, Diana, and her crew, they're really great with them, and the kids love them.
That's
so
awesome.
There's a lot of, and the little kids come also to learn to play the Wii or to play games on the computer. And the older kids actually mentor them. So it's fun to see the teens showing the younger ones how to access the Lego games on the computer or those kinds of things.
Too fun.
It's a great,
That's great.
It's full. The place is full on Thursday.
That is wonderful. That's all happening at the Camp Verde Community Library there. So you have to check that out. It's so wonderful to have things for the kids to do. It's just so great that you guys are really putting so much out there for that. And then the photo contest, which is so cool. Now start taking pictures now, and then you can start submitting June 1st at 8 a.m. and you have all of June because it ends Tuesday, June 30th at 6:30. So all of June you can take your submissions, and that's relatively easy, yet too complicated to explain to submit the photo. So check out the website, campverde.az.gov/government/library. It's going to be right there. You'll see it. It'll say photo contest by Camp Verde. You're going to see what you need right there. So go ahead and check that out. Kathy D. Hellman, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
And congratulations on breaking ground on your new building.
Thank you.
That's super.
We're excited.
That's
very
awesome.
excited about it.
And we'll be right back with more of the Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Yes, I am. Move! Off me! Give it to him hard! No, ow.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No!
They want to help,
Ow!
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Back to the Verde Valley Experience. We're down here at the lagoon at Dead Horse Ranch State Park. I'm here with George Christensen, who is the park manager of Dead Horse Ranch State Park, and we're here to talk about fishing because it's time for fishing, which is awesome. I'm so excited. Tell us all about the fishing opportunities here because it's immense.
There's a lot of fishing opportunities here at Dead Horse Ranch State Park. We have 3 lagoons here, and there's 24 surface acres of water here for them to fish on.
Wow.
And so we're standing here right now in front of the upper lagoon, our first lagoon you come into, and all 3 of these lagoons are stocked with trout, bass, catfish, and sunfish.
Wow.
And this time of year right now they're focusing mainly on trout. They're stocked every other week, and usually about 3,000 to 3,500 trout are stocked in the lagoons every other week.
Really?
Yeah. So
up to 3,500 fish in these lagoons. That's insane. And then that adds on top of the ones that weren't caught, the lucky ones that got away.
Yeah, so it makes for a great opportunity for people to catch fish.
Really?
Plus you have the Verde River that flows through the park here as well.
Right.
That also feeds these lagoons, and they stock about 2,500 in that every other week too, as long as the water's conditions are good for it.
Well, that's
So,
amazing. So, and you've got all different types of species, fish, as you say. So if any sort of fishing is good, depending on what kind of rod you like. I mean, you can fly fish here. You can use a regular fishing rod. You use one of those bamboo poles with the string. Use one.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
my favorite.
Yeah, just a string and a cork and bobber on a bamboo pole will certainly work, especially for the sunfish. Have a couple rods here. We've got a fly rod here. That's a really popular way to go. A lot of guys bring out their float tubes, and especially on the second and third ponds, and use fly rods, and they do really well.
Very good.
And then of course a lot of people love to use spin fishing, where they can cast lures or do bait, and so there's a lot of options there.
Yeah. Lots of different types of bait. I mean, I was saying when I was a kid it was cheddar cheese and bacon because that's what we had. But you've brought along a couple of interesting things, these fake bait.
Yeah.
I'll call it fake bait. You call it power bait.
Power bait, yeah.
It takes all the fun out of it, the slimy grossness out of it. Now I can just open the little thing and use that. But that's awesome. So it's really fishing has come a long way, I guess, since I've been fishing. So you can use any kind of bait you want, pretty much. You're going to catch something.
Absolutely. You know, still the traditional earthworms, you can't beat that.
Right.
There's different power baits to make dough balls to power eggs. They all work good, you know. There's also, like say again, using the spinners, anything silver. You know, it's a nice attractant for the trout to go after.
Sure.
And so it makes a lot of good opportunities.
I bet.
And
very good. What kind of limits do they have? How many fish can you catch, and can you keep what you catch? How does that work?
You can keep what you catch. It's as far as limits, you're allowed 4 trout, and there's allowed 4 catfish, and 2 bass, and 10 sunfish.
Wow.
And so the limits are set there to protect the fishery, of course, and but it allows you still to have the opportunity to take.
Yeah, that's a lot of fish. That adds up.
It does.
Good meal.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so it makes for really fun. So people have the opportunity to do catch and release as well. A lot of people practice that, especially a lot of the fly fishermen.
Sure.
But it allows the individual to take them if they like as well.
Right. Well, that's very, very cool. And you said one of your lagoons actually has a boat dock where you can come out with a kayak and kayak fish?
Correct. Yeah, the third lagoon, it has a boat dock, and of course they have handicap accessible fishing piers around two of the lagoons, the second and third lagoons. And so it is great for kayaking and canoeing. Anything that's non-motorized, you're allowed to put on there, and it opens up more water for fishing, certainly.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what are the hours for fishing? Do you have specific hours here at the park for fishing?
You can fish from, it's day use hours only, unless you're in here camping. And 10 o'clock is the cutoff time for day use hours. Wow. So back here at the lagoons. And but yeah, you can come in early in the morning and get after it and stay into the evening.
Spend the whole day.
Yeah, and then a lot of times the trout will start rising, especially in the afternoon, evenings, as well as in the morning. And so it provides good opportunities. Of course, catfish is always the best in the evenings.
Right.
And so, yeah, you can stay on and fish till 10 o'clock.
Wow,
and,
that's really cool.
So, yeah, the catfishing is really good. And we do stock catfish twice a year as well. And that is done usually right before National Free Fishing Day, June 6th this year. Okay. It'll be National Free Fishing Day.
Right.
And then, and that is an opportunity for people to come out. We hold a fishing clinic. No licenses are required that day on June 6th. And there's bait and tackle. And so those people that are unfamiliar with fishing and like to get into it have the opportunity to get experience with that.
Sure, and folks on hand to teach you all the tips of fishing because, you know, there's a lot of skill.
Absolutely.
I have to say, fishing takes a lot of skill. And you made an important point, George. You do need a fishing license to come out and go fishing.
That is correct. It's always important to have a fishing license, and those are usually, you get those from Arizona Game and Fish Department, and it's something you do have to have. You don't want to be out here without it.
Right.
Anyone 10 and up do have to have them, and so and you can pick those up from any Arizona Game and Fish licensed dealer or themselves. So.
Well, that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Another wonderful thing besides fishing out here is, of course, the wildlife viewing. You guys all know that Dead Horse State Ranch, Park State Ranch is a wonderful place to come out and see. We've been standing here and we've seen wonderful amounts of ducks, and you were talking about the blue herons, and of course with the Verde coming up in April.
Yes, it is a great place for watchable wildlife here at the park. And you did mention the Verde Valley Birding and Nature Festival. That comes on April 23rd through the 26th. And on the 25th is a family day. It's really a great day to come out and experience it and make bird houses and do a lot of crafts and stuff and get an opportunity to do some great birding.
Sure.
So I do highly recommend that.
Yeah.
But
You guys are always up to cool stuff out here at Dead Horse Ranch State Park. You can check all this information out at azstateparks.com. If you go to azstateparks.com and you click on Dead Horse Ranch, you will find all kinds of information and links and, of course, all the good stuff you need to know about the park and what's biting and all. That's a wonderful website. Thank you guys for having such a great website, George. It's a really neat thing. And thank you for stocking so many fish. That's got to be a full-time job, just stocking the fish and working the lagoons and keeping everybody happy. That's got to be neat.
It is, and we certainly appreciate Arizona Game and Fish. They are the ones that provide the fish for it from Page Springs Hatchery, and it makes for a wonderful fishery.
That's great,
It's certainly a great partnership
sure
to have.
And it's a great park, so thank you so much. George Christensen, the manager here at Dead Horse Ranch State Park, thank you so much for being with us today. And I'm excited to go fishing. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go get my rod. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Verde Valley Experience.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer? Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox under the bed. where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Come on, howdy, eat your apple pan, daddy. Gotta saddle up and get out of town. Gotta ride on the double, cause it looks like trouble, and we better not be nowhere around. A long 3-day ride across the Rio Grande. We got sore saddles, a belly full of trail dust, and pockets full of burning sand. Stumbled into an old saloon and bellied up to the bar, and I said, 3 fingers of rye, whiskey, and tell us where the devil we are. Well, about that time, some dance hall honey told me and Howdy to grab our money and took us both up to a room at the top of the stairs. And the door blew open, and what I saw was a 7-man table full of 5-card draw, a bottle of whiskey, and a couple of empty chairs. Well, I knew right then that we should have moved on and headed for the edge of town. But me and Howdy, we were feeling kind of rowdy, so we laid our money down. Well, Howdy, he was betting them high, and when it was over, he won. But they all looked funny when we reached for our money and somebody reached for a gun. Well, I hit that floor just as hard as I was able, and Howdy put a bullet right through that table. And out the back door, down to the street we run. Oh, come on, Howdy, eat your apple pan, Dowdy. Gotta saddle up and get out of town. Gotta ride on the double, cause it looks like trouble, and we better not be nowhere around. Come on, Howdy, eat your apple pan, Dowdy. Gotta saddle up and get out of town. Gotta ride on the double, cause it looks like trouble, and we better not be nowhere around. No, we better not be nowhere around. No, we better not be nowhere around. There you go.
It's hard not to laugh. That's a great feel-good song.
Thank you. It's a little story song about a couple of hapless cowboys found themselves in a spot of trouble.
Good grief. Thank goodness we don't do that anymore. Huh?
Oh, no. Way beyond that.
This is Bill Bassett, as most of you probably already know, one of the hardest working men in the Verde Valley, for sure. How long have you been in the Verde Valley now?
Well, got here in 2003, so 11 plus years, 11 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've been working your country tail off since, I'm sure.
Indeed. Been at the Blazing M Ranch now for 10 years.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
5 nights a week.
Well,
right?
4 nights a week.
4 nights a week. Still, wow. That's an amazing gig. That's great.
It's a wonderful thing.
I bet.
Yeah, it's just terrific.
And you're just perfect for it. It's just awesome. That big smile when you
born to be a singing cowboy. You know?
Oh, yeah, you got the smile for it. That's
Thank you,
true.
Thank you.
What got you interested in being a singing cowboy?
Well, I don't know. Probably just being 5 or 6 years old and watching cowboys and having a cowboy hat and getting a plastic guitar and it just, that's what stuck.
That did it, and it stuck. See, a lot of kids go through that and then they move on to what else, but it stuck for you. It really got you in the heart there, the cowboy way of singing, and they're all good songs.
Well, it's good fun, and the songs are wonderful, and of course then there's the camaraderie of all the people you meet, and Yeah, it's terrific, and I had dreamt of being a singing cowboy, and now I find that all these years later, I actually are one.
Yeah,
So,
congratulations. Most
thank you.
people,
I'm living the dream.
You are living the dream here in the beautiful Verde Valley.
Indeed
Verde
I
Valley
am.
singing cowboy, the Bill Bassett. That's so awesome. Now you have your own cowboy group called the Trailblazers.
Bill Bassett's Trailblazers, and we perform around the area from time to time, and we get called on to do fundraisers and benefits and play in nightclubs occasionally. Well, unfortunately, our New Year's Eve job got snowed out.
Oh,
Imagine
I know.
We were completely snowed out on New Year's Eve. It's
Oh, I'm so sorry.
hard to believe.
Really, around here, I know. It was a good thing, I guess, for the environment, but I know it foiled a lot to people's New Year's plans, so I'm sorry
That's
to hear
okay.
that.
I curled up with some popcorn and hot chocolate.
Oh, there you go.
And whoop, Happy New Year.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. Too fun. Now, do you write any of your own music?
I do on occasion. I've written a song or two, and in fact, if I get to sing another one, I was planning on doing a song that I'd written some time back, and again, it's a sort of a story song. Tells the story of growing up.
Ah, yes, that is quite the story, for sure. Well, that's wonderful. Did you write from a personal experience?
As a matter of fact, to make this personal, my mother had a wonderful expression. She was an avid knitter. She knitted. That was her relaxation. She would knit, and often, I mean, she made a lot of sweaters for us, and everybody she knew. No, it's wonderful. They're wonderful sweaters.
They're wonderful. Well, you had a good mom.
But if she dropped a stitch somewhere in there, she, had a choice to either rip it all out and start over, or otherwise she would just say, well, a galloping horse would never notice it.
Really?
And so I, some years later, took that phrase and made it a song.
That's nice insider information. Thank you for sharing that. That's very cool.
Well, thank you.
That's very cool. I always like to know where the song comes from, especially when it's a story song.
Indeed.
You think, well, is he talking about himself? Who's he talking about? You always wonder when you hear a musician sing a song. Is it something they pulled out of the air? Is that personal experience?
Yeah, kind of a little of both.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And you've got a Facebook page. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you, Facebook.
Indeed, and I'm very active on Facebook, and where you can read where we're going to be performing, and you can read about my dogs, and you can read about my
in true Facebook fashion.
Day-to-day life.
Would you have a breakfast? Are you one of those?
Not often, but I did put something about grilled cheese and tomato soup the other day, and I got like 30 responses.
Oh yeah, but it was that weather for sure. Yes, you want to check out Bill Bassett and the Trailblazers. That will put you right up to his Facebook page there. If you want to get in contact or see what these guys are up to, or just give them a hi, howdy.
I say howdy. Yeah, that's the cowboy way.
That is true. I'm so happy that you were able to join us today.
I'm delighted. Thank you.
It has been 1 year since you sat in this studio.
Yeah, I was. Just thinking, my gosh, where has the time?
I know that really flew.
Flown, yes, it has.
Tell me about it. It just feels like a couple months ago, maybe. No big deal, but a whole year. Oh my gosh. No. Good thing you get better looking. I get,
Yikes.
Men get better looking as they get older. Have you noticed this?
Hadn't occurred to me that
no?
that was the case.
Well, it's true.
You're
awesome.
Entirely too kind.
So what's the name of this song?
This song is Galloping Horses.
Galloping Horses.
Imagine that.
That's fabulous. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Really appreciate it. Nice rounding out our 1 year anniversary episode of the Verde Valley Experience. Check out Bill Bassett and the Trailblazers on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. He was 4, barely out the door, when a kid down the street called his name. He started to run, but he was undone, and his new shirt was torn just the same. But Mama knew just how to mend it, and smiled when she was through. She said, a galloping horse will never notice it. We fixed it as good as new. He was 19, chasing a dream, out in the world on a lark. It started as fun, but he was undone when a girl he just met broke his heart. But Mom said, you'll just have to mend it, then call me back when you're through. She said a galloping horse will never notice it. You'll fix it as good as new. A galloping horse will never notice. You look too close and you lose your focus. You can fix up the wear and tear with a little love and care. The world is so small and Daddy's so tall to a girl when she's almost 4. She tossed it up high, then started to cry when her favorite doll hit the floor. But Daddy knew just how to mend it, and he smiled when he was through. He said a galloping horse never noticed it. We fixed it as good as new.